So for the second part, let's review what we need to do for the exterior scene. So exterior scene. Oh, wait till you guys are done. Ah, thank you. Now I can hear. Yes?
So for the colored glass bottles, does that reference photo go in the collage?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Anything that you use to create your objects in your scene goes in the reference. Even the thermos reference that we give you or any other reference we give you goes up there.
Okay.
So that's a good question. Yes, the bottles, you need to have your reference there so when we look at your render, we can go, oh yeah, got the color of the bottles, look good. Same thing with the exterior scene. So for the exterior, we've got a wine glass, we've got geometry inside the wine glass, and we've also got a bottle. The bottle is empty. So that makes a difference when you're looking for reference. So you have a pretty good feel for how to make glass. Now the process is, I need to find reference for the appropriate scene that we're going to do now, which is outside. For most of you, it's probably going to be the nighttime scene because most of you did the interior day. If not, it's still not going to matter. It's still an exterior scene. You're still going to have glass bottles that are outside exposed, or glass bottle, glass, wine exposed to direct sunlight. So we need to find reference. So I'm going to go with mostly what everybody's going to have, and that's going to be wine bottle. We're going to find wine. We're going to find wine glass. Usually when you search for wine, you'll find wine glasses. Not a problem. The wine glass does need to be clear. Most wine glasses are. Very rarely will you find colored glass. There are colored goblets, yes, usually water or something else, but you know, clear glass shows off the clarity of the wine. All right, so first off, what kind of wine do you want? Whether it's red wine, whether it's white wine, there's Zinfandel, which is kind of a pink wine. There's Chablis, there's pink Chablis. Depends on how long they leave the grapes in to get fermented with the wine. So first off, you want to find out, is there a place I can go to find out the refraction index for at least red and white wine? So the answer is usually yes. So the magic key phrase is index of refraction, wine. Helps if you spell it correctly. That helps a lot. There we go. So right off the top here, ethanol by content, the difference between red and white wine results. Guys in lab coats, looks official. Ethanol content, alcohol. Okay, they're speaking our language, sort of. So we want to go down. Density, alcohol percent, red wine, white wine. Here we go, ethanol content by refractive index. So right now, these numbers mean absolutely nothing to me because they are not associated with any kind of wine. So let's hope, keep going. So now we see red, we see white, different kinds of wine, and the refraction index. And the refraction index at a set temperature. I don't really need to be that precise with it. I'll just be happy if I get the general refraction index, which is this second column on the left. So you'll notice that water is 1.3, 1.33. Alcohol, wine, really not that much different. You got a decimal, you know, what is it, tens, hundreds, thousands, a thousandth of a decimal place makes a difference, especially when you're calculating light rays. So we have a choice, red wine, white wine, 1.337 to 1.339. You could just go 1.338, would kind of serve both. It's probably a good place to start. All right, so good. We've got the index of refraction for white or red or even Zinfandel wine. It's close enough for us. Now we need to find some visual reference for bottle, for wine itself. Because we want to be able to color pick the wine and the bottle color. So again, images, don't forget, when you search, you get any results, change the size of the reference images to be at least 1K. All right, so we'll go red wine. All right, so a couple things about the wine. We do need to be able to see through it a little bit, depending on the lighting. These are all stacked up in front of each other. So there's going to be a lot of overlap. Not really a good reference image. This one's a little bit better. You can kind of see through it. We need at least that much transparency for our wine. This is a pretty dark bottle, but I can still see through it a little bit. If you look at the bottom, I can see the table. This is empty. Outside, if you're outside during the day, hey, this is your shot right here. Can see through it a little bit. Perfect. All right, so this might not be too bad here. Looks a little CG-like. Hopefully not. Grapes are a little shiny. Bottles full of liquid, not too good. Not too bad. I can see through the wine itself. The light level's kind of low. Now, since I'm doing night, let's try outside. That's white wine during the day. That has nothing to do with night. So that's actually not too bad. That might be decent reference. It's backlit, but it is outside. So possible. Might save it as reference. I don't have to use it. All right, good. That at least saved out. Let's see if we can find some more nighttime. Nighttime, poor lighting, terrible, not good reference. Outside. Yeah, sort of, but our candles are not behind the wine. That's a little stylized. Still wouldn't be wrong.
Try maybe searching candlelit dinners.
There you go. Red wine, night, candlelight. All right, not bad. Now, one thing I forgot to do was change my Tools for the size to be larger than 1K. That's going to get rid of all the postage stamps that are out there. So kind of dim, a little dimmer actually than our environment. But candlelight seems to be pretty good. Cell phone picture. So you have to distinguish between, candlelight and pour lighting. So this might be inside. It's not bad. You can see through the wine a little bit. At least you know there's clarity there. It doesn't look like solid grape juice. Possible. Save that one as a reference too. All right. So a lot of your time is going to be spent looking for reference. What's that? Yeah, well, I've got a few already from stock images. This one is stock image. That one is not. That one is also. So I got enough for wine glass. So now I need to figure out what kind of wine bottle do I want. So you want to look for empty wine bottle. Okay, another thing people like to do is cut the bottoms out of wine bottles and make them into candle holders. Yeah, we don't want that. Also avoid anything that's painted or roughed up like that. That's looks more like it's like an oil lamp. What's that? Wait, say that again? I don't think I heard you right.
Do we need a reference for the labels that we put on the bottle?
Not yet. Not till we get to textures. In fact, the geometry for the label we have hidden, so you guys aren't distracted by it. Because the only thing it did was cover up the wine bottle, and it's not worth it. So I'm going to take out candlelight. Don't really care about that. Let's go night outside and just look for wine bottles. So this is inside, low levels of light, but you can still see through it. Make sure the bottles are empty. Stock photography like this might be useful as a secondary reference. Something you might be able to pull color from, but not how it's going to look in the environment, not for the collage. So if you like the amber color, that's actually a pretty good picture. So since we are doing, let's go empty red wine bottle. All right, here's one inside, not bad. Not perfect, it is inside, but low levels of light. Most of the time, people aren't interested in taking pictures of empty wine bottles. They're more interested in showing you on Facebook that they're drinking wine. Alright, so here's one. It's inside. That's kind of frothy. Wow, what is that? What was that? Yeah, luckily with some of the search parameters for this stuff, you usually don't run across porn too much, which is good. You have to watch when you're looking for textures, though, when you start looking for things like leather. Set your search parameters to be leather texture, because if you just say leather, you're going to get all kinds of interesting, eye-opening things. Maybe not eye-opening, but you may not want to look at them. And once you see it, it's hard to unsee. And we're not talking the artistic kind of stuff either. Difference between, you know, figure drawing and pornography. All right, so let's just look for empty wine bottle outside. Alright, so these might not be bad, but the trouble is they've got lights inside of them. It's not really nighttime either. I mean, they might be decent for secondary reference. Alright, I'm going to go with something like this as one of my reference images. Technically, these are not empty, but they are empty at the top. Maybe secondary reference. I can color pick. Here's one at night. That's a beer bottle. That's all right. Don't want that. That's full. Ignore full wine bottles. Too dark. Ah, that's not bad. Low levels of light. Okay. Yeah, trouble is they would never make any money. Okay, so far this is not empty wine bottles. Ah, here's one. Kind of hard to see through. Not bad. This is inside. Low levels of light. Not too bad. All right, somebody's very proud of their living environment. Wow, okay. Yeah, why is that in there? There you go. That's a good wine ad. Hungover. Full bottle, watch out for that. Don't want that. This isn't bad. Inside, low levels of light, might be a decent reference. Alright, so I've got a bunch of reference here. Just gonna select it all, open it in preview so I can start picking out what I want to use. That's not bad. That's not bad. Alright, so I found wine bottle, found a wine glass, found reference. So save my scene. Going to open up the exterior night. Perspective, going to kind of zoom in on the wine glass, work on that first. All right, so let's take a look at this actually in wireframe. So this is the camera shot that you have for night. So the wine bottle, I heard what? Somebody say 8. I was going to say, how many surfaces for a ray to pass through?
6. Including liquid inside of it.
How many?
6, including liquid inside of it.
What about the bottle?
Oh, yeah.
So I heard somebody say the right answer. 8. 10. Yes. Remember, 4 for the glass. There's geometry inside the wine glass. That's 2. So you've got 4 plus 2 is 6. Then you've got overlap for the wine bottle, 10. So default ray depths need to be cranked up to 10. So it's a lot easier to take care of this now than later on when you realize, wait, I can't see through my wine glass, I can't see through my bottle, I can't see through anything. So render settings, RenderMan, sampling, max specular, 10. So now you want to make sure that you've got separate Pixar surface materials assigned to each of the geometry. So this is my wine glass. There's wine inside the glass somewhere if I can pick it. And if not, I'm going to go into my outliner, go into my group. Wine glass. Where's the wine inside the glass? All right, so there's my wine inside the glass. So that gets another Pixar surface. That's wine. Then we've got our bottle. Bottle's empty. Separate cork for the bottle. That's your problem. So glass. There we go. Wine bottle. Right, so let's start. Nice simple little IPR for actually, yeah, I'm just going to render from the render cam, which pretty much shows everything. All right, so for the wine glass, how do I make clear glass for the wine? Turn off diffuse gain.
And turn up the reflective gain or reflective gray.
Yep, so I turn up refraction gain. That makes it clear. Turn up reflection gain. That makes it shiny. And that is pretty much clear glass. Right, so for my reference, let's pull that up. For my reference, how dirty or rough is my wine glass? Oop, no, wouldn't do that. There we go. Right there. So you can see there's a little bit of roughness in the glass, but not much at all. So I'm going to knock this down in half, 0.05. I could go even a little more. 0.03. Pretty clean. It's pretty sparkly. Little bit of roughness. The reflections on it are just a little blurry. So the glass part's pretty simple. Now the wine inside the glass. There's my wine geometry. So I want to start off by making this glass. So what do I want to do first? Yep, turn off diffuse gain. All right, so refraction gain 1, reflection gain 1. Right now, under glass advanced, my refractive index is 1.5. What I want to do is go back to my website, my reference website here, and let's see the difference between red and white wine. So red wine, 1.339, 1.339, 1.337. I got 2 9s and a 7. I could go 338. I'm going to go with 339 since I got 2 out of 3. So down here, refractive index, 1.339. That means it's going to behave a little bit differently than glass. Not quite as dense, not quite as reflective. Also, I'm going to cut the roughness down to virtually 0 because most liquid isn't going to be that cloudy. Especially wine, they always pride themselves on clarity. So I made the wine 1.03. Could probably do the same thing for, I made the glass 0.03. You can do the same thing for the wine. So I'm going to kick off an IPR. And let's see, which image do I want to copy or sample my color from? Could do this one. That works out pretty good. Could do that one. Kind of like this one. Stay in the same kind of lighting scenario. Alright, so again, I'm going to double click on my wine Pixar surface refraction color to bring up the advanced color picker. And I'm going to load in my image. Right now I have it on the desktop. No, that one. And I'm just going to left click and hold and try to sample my color. Now I want to avoid super dark areas like this and super bright white areas here. I want to go somewhere that's kind of medium. Click done, and let's see what my render looks like. So came out pretty close. So if I need my wine to be a little bit lighter, you click once in the refraction color, get rid of some of the dark shadow in the value. Either increase or decrease the saturation for the color. That will also cut down the dominance of the color. So right now I got a little bit of value in here. Might be making my wine just a little bit darker. My color's pretty saturated. I could lower that a little bit, just a touch. And that's kind of the color I had before. It had just a little bit of dark value in it.
side of the render, it's on one side of my render the white looks gray instead of red.
Are you doing a region when you render?
No.
Dark, it's also going to kill you. Remember, if your color has too much dark value in it, for glass, for light, for wine, for liquids, it's going to also block the transparency.
Because the program thinks the values are basically the same thing.
Well, it just knows that when you dump down the white part of it, you're also cutting down how light you get through. Don't forget, reference needs to go in collage for everything. So I've darkened up my wine just a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like that little darker color. It looks a little closer. Right, so next is the bottle. Same procedure. Get your reference. Make your glass. So this bottle's got a little bit of roughness on it, but this is actually beer, so I'm getting rid of that. I don't want that reference. So either this one or one of these. Let's go for this one. This one's got some roughness on it. So wine bottle. Same steps. Diffuse gain off. Skip primary specular. Refraction gain up. Reflection gain up. Now you've got a clear bottle. And you need to sample your color and adjust your roughness. Nice thing is, refraction index is set here because you've got glass. So I'm going to load in my reference. You know if it's transparent enough, you'll be able to see the cork inside the bottle. You should be able to see through the cable a little bit in the back. My reference has some roughness in the glass, so I'm going to start to dial that in. Remember, the amount of roughness, in addition to making it frosted looking, will also tend to blur your reflections a little bit too. All right, anybody have any questions? Feel confident you could make glass in your environments?
Yes.
And stuff you've modeled?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really not that hard. As long as you understand the process and what everything does.
Anything wrong as far as finding the perfect image?
Yeah, that's going to be the hardest part. Finding a good reference image. Yes?
So, question about the cheese. So, do we need that, for a grain thing, brown cheese?
Yeah, that's kind of meant to be either a wax coating.
Like a red thing?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of cheese has red. Some of it has white, some of it has yellow. As far as skin goes, think of it like a skin. Possibly even plastic. You know, you cut a wedge of cheese, a lot of times they'll just leave the skin on it or the coating. But most of the time it is wax.
Oh. So we put wax on cheese?
Yes, preserve it.
Do you want us to, we're ready to produce wax and cheese, or do you want us to cheese with our own revenue?
Well, see, here's the thing. It's got separate geometry around the edge of the cheese. Yep, rind. All right, so let me go here, hit 5, there we go. So if I select the edge of the cheese, it is separate geometry. Not thick, it's a single plane, but it is visible to the camera in a couple of different angles.
Probably my favorite part of that material.
What?
When you wrapping the case.
Yeah, that's going to be a little bit tricky because it's going to be, you're going to spend a little bit of time trying to match the level of roughness and the gloss on it. Yeah.
So can you know that in the glass like that, do we need a separate reference from that, or do if you like we have a wall and then it's got like a window in it with what we need to use everything?
That's fine. Just make sure you can't see into it.
Okay.
And if you can see into it, just use the reference you got on FSO. Just right click and download it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you want to use the reference on FSO for how reflective the glass is for the exterior, just download it off FSO, right click on the image, save image. But if your reference has like a facade on the front and it's got glass and you can't see through it, then that's fine. All right, any other questions?
Do we have to apply materials to everything, or just stuff we can see in seats?
Yeah, only what's visible in the seat.
Yeah.
Now, having said that, if you want to texture the rest of the chair, or not texture, but put materials on the legs, even though you can't see them, that's fine. Because you might be able to see it in a bit of reflection in the window. So there's something else you have to worry about too, is just because it's not directly visible to the camera, will it be visible in a reflection? During the day, it's going to be a little more critical than night. Because daytime, you got a lot more light. You're going to be able to see a lot more reflectivity in the windows. All right, any other questions? Anything not clear? Anything not clear on any of the stuff we went over last time? Okay. All right, so work for a couple minutes. We'll go to lunch at 12:30. If you have any questions, bring them up for me.